So a bunch of people left class to watch me give a speech to a council of superheroes as Star-Lord and tell them that communication is key and that we had to take down Adam Sandler because we were worried he was going to make another movie.
What? Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where today we're cosplaying as Quail Man again, with the power to stupefy! No, today I am dressed like a hero, if you couldn't tell, because it is time to finish off Bad End Theater in an attempt to get a good end theater. That's right. This game, which is filled with 40 different bad endings. Last time we got the true ending for our four main characters, but then, twist of all twists, greatest anime betrayals of all time, there's a fifth character introduced, which seems to be, we're not sure, but my guess is that the game alludes to us being kind of outside of the realm of the story, so maybe we'll be able to shift puzzle pieces around or story elements around or grant choices to people. But basically, I think at this point, the game pivots to us actually trying to save the lives of everyone based on the decisions that they're making. So I'm excited about it. I hope you're excited about it. Get your belts at the ready, friends, because it's time to equip and become the heroes that we were always meant to be. Ash, you were a theater person. We've been also along the way sharing our theater traumas. And do you have a favorite costume? So like, as I equip my hero garb, I'm curious, what was your favorite costume?
That is a good question. My senior year, I did Eurydice by Sarah Rule.
Uh-huh.
And I had a green wedding dress made just for me.
Ooh, cool.
It had a little pendant in the center.
Yeah.
So it was almost looked like a necklace.
Yeah.
And
that sounds cool.
yeah, it was my favorite. I almost wore it to prom, but my family said I couldn't.
No.
So
I'm sorry. You wear whatever you want to prom.
Thank you. I wore big socks so that I could take off the uncomfy shoes and slide around the floor.
That's awesome. That's great. I love it. It's not my favorite costume, but my most memorable costume, maybe my most traumatic costume, since we're talking about theater traumas as a part of this series. Most traumatic costume was, there was this one show that it was a very small, black box theater show. And I was this over-aggressive, alpha male style character. So really up my alley here. As you can clearly tell, the man with the belt on his head. And in the middle of the show, I was supposed to just wear nothing but a Speedo and just do pelvic thrusting exercises towards the ceiling, which in and of itself is already that's pretty intimate. It's uncomfortable. Definitely one of the most uncomfortable things that I ever had to do as part of a stage show. Making matters worse though was that I had gotten mono literally the week or week and a half prior. And so not only was I in a Speedo, completely naked otherwise, pelvic thrusting towards the ceiling, but I was also emaciated as my body was eating itself alive due to the mono. So I was skeletal at that. My pupils were all yellow. My body was really, you could see my ribs and stuff. It was not a pretty sight, but the show must go on. And so that's not my favorite costume by any means, but definitely one of the most memorable, for sure. I'd say favorite. When I did Moliere, we did a Moliere show in a professional theater up in New Hampshire, and that one had really awesome of the period attire with giant flamboyant floor or kind of mid-length coats and this and that, frills everywhere, frilly sleeves and frilly poofs. It was awesome.
Frilly poofs.
Yeah, it was French, I don't know what the eras are, French Restoration or whatever it was, where, everyone was walking around with their regal attire. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
It was cool. As part of it, I had to hide in the closet for an extended period of time, so that was exciting. That was a good show. That was also, I think, my first... Was that my first equity show? I forget. Anyway, but It was one of the early ones, which was cool. Another weird costume story for me was high school. There was the we did our big choral review at the end of the year. No, it was part of the talent show. I think it was. We did a big yearly talent show, and I was invited into a group with a bunch of older kids from the choir, which was awesome. And we were doing. It was kind of like a Bollywood-inspired number where we were dressing in, like region-appropriate outfits. It was performed, like it was spearheaded by a girl named Nidhi, who was originally from, I forget what region of India, but like she got a bunch of her friends and other like choral members together to do like this full like Bollywood-style dance as a part of our talent show, which was awesome. And she got costumes flown in for all of us from India, which was amazing.
Whoa.
It was super, super cool.
That's so neat.
However, they did not fit super great. Some of them did not fit super great. And so on dress rehearsal night, my pants, which had been cinched to all high heaven, dropped to my ankles, and I was dancing around on stage with no pants. So that was it. Luckily, it was dress rehearsal, but still, I mean, like it was a full on, like there were people in the audience watching. It wasn't like a sold out show, and it wasn't like a full on performance, but it was enough people that Matt Pat dressing around without pants was real embarrassing. But the show must go on, so I committed. I did it. I don't know if that was the right decision in the moment, but it was the decision that I made.
You know, sometimes that's just how it be.
Right? Sometimes you just gotta dance with your pants at your ankles.
Here,
That's how it goes.
I'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
Another theater
nice.
costume that I really enjoyed was when I was Star-Lord.
Oh, cool. Wait,
Yeah.
you were Star-Lord in a theater show?
It's a lot. So
Was this another one of your like Shakespeare reimagined shows?
no, but same guy.
Okay.
So it was for my devised theater class.
Okay. Devised theater.
Yeah.
What is a devised theater?
You know, like a chorus line where they got people together and they took their stories and created based on people's stories rather than like a source like script.
I love that of all the shows that you've said, there's been like one that's like a normal play. Yeah, anyway, okay. Yes, devised theater.
It's kind of like that, but on steroids.
Oh, great.
But
Even better.
I wanted to like devise shows based off of like the dreams that people had in that class.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I
and
like
see
that.
what we could do.
Yeah.
But that idea got co-opted. And what happened was we were like a bunch of like superheroes and stuff in a council.
Oh, great.
And we were
You
like,
were the Illuminati.
a little bit.
You were the Illuminati. Okay, yeah.
And we had to like fight Captain America.
This is basically sounding like the plot of Multiverse of Madness. I'm just saying.
Oh no, it totally was. And then like Adam Sandler like broke into Dick's Sporting Goods.
What is your theater school? Your shows are insane.
No, they were. And there was a courtyard at our school. And during like
busts in and punches Captain America in the face. Boom.
Oh gosh.
Who's America's ass now, Cap? Get in your ball hole. Yeah. Get in
This
your hole
happened during a 6th period class. And he brought us into this courtyard and we ran the show 3 times. And it was us like running in circles. Like,
in the middle of other people's classes?
yes. So a bunch of people left class to watch me give a speech to a council of superheroes as Star-Lord and tell them that communication is key and that we had to take down Adam Sandler because we were worried he was going to make another movie.
What?
I don't know.
I don't even know what to say.
I wanted to make a piece about like the introspective subconscious, and then it turned into Star-Lord
We must stop Adam Sandler.
and Captain Carter
They're extending his Netflix contract.
fighting against an evil Captain America possessed by Adam Sandler.
Oh, he was possessed by Adam Sandler. Oh, well, now you're completely changing the story.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was possessed. Oh, well, that's totally believable then. That's just like
He broke
next
into Dick's Sporting Goods, and then it turns out Adam Sandler and Captain America were the same person, and we had to fight him.
do these scripts still exist?
I need to find. We were all.
Because if you find them, I feel like you and I just need to do an episode of GT Live where we just
Yes, we do.
reenact Ash's old theater traumas.
Yes,
Because this sounds incredible. This sounds like a work of... Honestly, this sounds like a YouTube video that would just crush.
Yeah, we were all Spider-Men. We were like superheroes, but like,
Wait, you were Star-Lord, but you were also Spider-Man?
yeah, we were all our own superheroes, but when we broke up the council, we'd say Spidey on 3. 1, 2, 3, and then Hulk smash into the ground and say Spidey. So we were like Spider-Man, like undercover. Like we were all.
Wow. We were all Spider-Man. Which, honestly, spoiler alert, is actually just the conclusion of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
A little bit.
Which is not true, but also not true. Everyone in the cast becomes Spider-Man in the end, and they all do like weird slow-motion Spider-Man Tai Chi. It's a very odd experience. Anyway, that's, again, more theater stories for another day. But let's finish Bad End Theater, hopefully.
Please.
Yeah, let's finish this. This has been a fun walk down memory lane, though, tell you what. All right, let's see if we can save our friends, shall we? You are the question mark. So let's see what this whole thing is. We can't adjust any of our skills. It seems like everyone right now is dying in a fire, so presumably we're trying to save them. So yes. Okay. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. Last theater story. So last time we were talking a lot about how, this is a brief one. Last time we were talking about how theater departments choose really weird stuff that isn't marketable or popular at all, which is fine. That's the beauty of theater, but also you got to balance it out with some level of commercially successful stuff. So, you know, your students have marketable skills and actual roles under their belts. Anyway, TLDR here, one of the theater department shows, it was not one that I was in. It was one that my girlfriend at the time was in. I was doing the student-run musical at the time. But the theater department did this old Spanish play that they completely had retranslated and updated for modern times, and also inserted a bonus role, again, like theater department's gonna theater department, the entire play, which is a very realistic play about like, you know, these character squabbles and this and that. The entire play was set on a giant page of the play. Like it was a raked stage, so it was a big ramp, and the entire set of it was literally just a large sheet of paper that was as if the playwright had written it out, and that was the stage. It was all like the characters popping out of the page, but like in a very literal sense. It was real questionable decisions. But then they also decided, you know what this play needs? A character added in who is the playwright themselves, but functioning as this like demigod or this demiurge of the action that's going on. And so my girlfriend, who was a dancer, she was a dance major, she was going around like twirling and flipping and rolling and stuff and manipulating the characters on the literal page to do things and interact with each other. It was a strange one. It was a strange one.
Why do they do this?
Because they're creators, Ash. They're artists.
Well, you know,
Art.
we're creators.
I don't know.
I'm not twirling and...
It's fine. No, the thing is, it's fine to twirl. Like, here's the thing.
It's fine to
Was
twirl.
it fine? It was fine, but also, any artistic interpretation is... I think most artistic interpretations are valid interpretations as long as it makes some level of sense. And the production made sense, but was the story... I don't know. A lot of times as God, I didn't mean to deviate this much, but as a director, when I was directing in theater, my thought, and this has always been kind of my creative viewpoint, is you are in service of the story that you're trying to tell, right? And so if I'm adopting someone's script from yesteryear, is me setting it on top of this page and having a director, like, or a playwright rolling around, guiding the characters, is that in service of the story that the original playwright was trying to tell? To me, no, I got nothing out of that play outside of like, woo, I'm rolling around. But, you know, to maybe someone else that spoke to them, and maybe to the theater professor who was the director of that show, yeah, maybe. But to me, I would always approach the shows as like, what is the story that we're trying to tell through this piece, and how do we communicate to the audience most clearly? And if there is another interesting layer to that you can wrap it up, that's fine, but it needs to make sense. Anyway.
Yeah, we got to talk more about this later.
We do. Let's play the game.
Let's go to the bad end.
So anyway, the reason I brought this up is because all of a sudden we boldly inserted ourselves. We are the demiurge. We are the play. We are my former girlfriend rolling around on a giant paper directing the characters is basically what it is.
The collective former girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. Use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. Okay, you didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. Yes, that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? I'm gonna say, hi guys. You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Hey, now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe that you were the only one here who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy, if you like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater, though I can't abide you stealing the show without my permission. It's quite disrespectful. I want to see something new, or I'm sick of all these bad endings. I want to see something new. Are you trying to say my bad... Because it's not about the bad ending. He likes the bad endings, right? I think what he, as the artist and creator of this world, is really going to be triggered by is you being like, this is boring. And so he's like, fine, more random garbage onto the stage, please. More gestures. Are you trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending. It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. Wow, okay. Oh, geez. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. I feel like this is a meta. I would like do a meta response here. I'm gonna attack. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. So maybe this is one of those where you try and eventually they're like, oh, your persistence has paid off. You're right. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautifully tragic tails! Literally, they are tails streaming out of my butt. Look at how beautiful and colorful they are. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed 20 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all of this? Do you truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, you know. Green room. A lot of suffering in the green room. It's a shame that you couldn't make it here it's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right, you came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Call for your friend to join you in battle. Call your friend to... Okay, who do I want to summon? I'm gonna summon Overlord. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained in the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve you. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I was gonna say, I feel like this would have been relevant a lot earlier. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. Great. That was easy enough. I see. So this is tragedy. This is epic pixel animation. I love it. Ah, you've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. Is that true? You've prevented... Was that sarcastic? Should I have read that sarcastically? You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha 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 ha. I hope you've prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. No! Oof. Oh, wild. Ambition. Brutality. She should attack with ambition. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. He does have infinite health though, so, you know, on one hand it's like, yay! On the other hand, infinite health. It's basically the health bar of Sephiroth in like a Kingdom Hearts game. It's like 20 squares deep. Let's summon the Maiden next, because we know the Overlord and the Maiden are like a thing. If we can, you know, if we can ship them together, that'd be great. You happen to find the Maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You've come all this way. The Maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon. I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She is the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The Maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this Maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. Is there something I can do to find fulfillment? Then please guide me! The Maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear Maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. This is a cool battle. I like this, actually. I like this a lot. Hope. Her strength. She's kind, but her true strength is in hope. Hope that her situation will improve. Hope that everyone will be better. Hope that, through her prayers. I'm going to say she's going to attack with hope. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The Maiden hopes with all of her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling! Next up, let's do yours. All right, we'll do our co-worker, I guess. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. He's gonna attack using the power of boredom! Laissez-faire! Turncoat! Because, he flip-flops like 3 times over the course of the story. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into the story right now. You tell the underling that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. Hate this job! The underling snickers. You ask what kind of a job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. Just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. Gotta live out on the land and become a farmer, I guess, for yourself. Self-determination! You think of the underling's friends who have bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along, just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Okay. Wait, what the heck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling. You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. No! Tenacity. I guess that's a way of putting his good qualities. Tenacity, sure. Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Lastly, hero. You find the hero in his room, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the heck out of him. Hero. Hero. There it is. Are you some kind of a demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. How can you explain this in a way that the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear, as you can tell by the belt on my head. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He is overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. Oh, I feel that way. I love wearing sparkly stuff and society doesn't improve. So yeah, you wear that sparkle stuff. Hero, you do it, man. I believe in you. Ollie too. Ollie has the same thing. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. Let's do it together. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. Yes. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us, murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with terrible fate. Okay. Now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combinations of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me! Willpower. He has the willpower to fight for his own fate. Maiden has hope for a better future. Underling, he gets knocked down, but he gets up again. You're never gonna keep him down. Just like Chumbawamba when they're tub thumping. And then Overlord has ambition. Willpower. Your reign of terror ends here, Tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, you take aim toward your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. You form a Megazord. It gets to 0. You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Thank you, maiden. Thank you, underling. Thank you, overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you. Die already. Don't worry. I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. I'm satisfied. I'm happy with it. Wait, I should say no. I should say no because I want him to live, right? Should I say no? Oh, Ash has feelings. Ash, what are your feelings?
Hold on.
Oh no, Ash! Oh no! Ash! What's going on, Ash?
I don't know.
Is there a fruit fly?
No, there was one the other day, but not... Is there? Okay, no, we're good.
I like that. You're like, oh no! So wait, what? You have feelings about this?
What did he say right before?
He wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was he able to do it? I wonder. Because on one hand, I'm like, I want him to feel satisfied because he did a good job.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he's dying, so I feel bad about that. So like maybe the no here is, no, I don't want you to die, tragedy. I can see it going either way. What are your thoughts?
Are you able to save?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, shoot.
I'm gonna say I'm satisfied. What do you think?
Oh, I'm so stressed.
You really?
Yeah.
I didn't think this was gonna be as hard.
I didn't want to make him
seemed to have
sad.
volunteered at the end. You seemed like you wanted to say something, and now maybe you're backing off of that.
No, I did I look like that?
You did. That's why I tossed it over to you.
Oh,
But
why
if
was
that
I-
was a miss here,
Why was I looking like that? It's up to you.
I'm gonna say I'm satisfied. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I figured that would be good. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. your true end. There it is. Aww, and the hero becomes a tailor. Yes, which honestly is heroic. With the amount of times I've had to get pants hemmed and things like that, truly heroic. The underling. Oh, we got a song too. I like that the underling just became a stage performer. It's like, yo, look at me. Oh, the underling and the overlord do like a PR tour. They bond with the village. Like, hey, we're cool. Oh, they hang out together in the castle. I love that the only eye that you see is her third eye. Oh, and there's tragedy. Writing away your true end. Cool! Exit the theater. Oh, this was great. I'm curious how this has changed. Oh, now you're back at the beginning. Can I skip this? Okay. Oh, so you weren't done with my bad endings and now you're back for more. You'll have to cancel out your true ending if you want to go all the way back to the way things were before our final battle. Shall we begin the resetting process? Never mind. You don't want to play after all? Well, all right. I'll be waiting here in case you change your mind. Interesting. All right. Well, fine. Maybe we will reset it. There are two options. If you missed out on seeing all 41 bad endings, you can keep your progress and reset to before you started the true ending. Or you can erase all your progress and replay the game. You have to collect everything. You can't take that back, so choose carefully. Reset to before the true end. Your progress has been reset. You're now free to enjoy the rest of my bad endings. Okay. So I'm curious. What's this? Oh, this is, okay, keep collecting bad endings. Okay, so that takes you to the final battle. I'm assuming... Interesting. I'm assuming that these 4 are things that you get for getting all of the endings for each character, right? So if you get all the hero endings, you get this one, and so on and so forth. I kind of wonder about that. But overall... I mean, so we got about like half of all the endings. Welcome back. Are you pleased with your progress? This is cool. I like this game. Ash, real quick. I know that this was short. So first off, I recognize that this was short because we just had to do that kind of like end sequence. But is there stuff to do? Like, should we continue to try and get more of these endings? Or no? Like, is there an incentive? Is there something exciting?
I think that we should continue to get some endings.
Really?
I do.
What a twist.
I do.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right then. Well, then we'll continue. Then we shall continue. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to change the settings so that way we skip unseen text. I don't want to skip unseen text. I skip to unseen text? Why would I skip unseen text?
I think it's skip to unseen text.
Right, you would think
and then
that.
skip to after choices.
Skip unseen text. We're gonna try this. We're gonna see what happens. Yes. Okay. So, let's look at where we're at. Let's try diplomatic, possessive, and then underling. Okay, so polite, diplomatic, possessive. Polite, diplomatic, possessive. Okay, so we're gonna try to get the rest of these guys. Skip. Okay, we're gonna hear her out. Skip ahead. We're going to kill the overlord. Wait. Oh no! It does skip. Okay, so we gotta turn off that one because it does skip unseen text now. Okay. Ooh, different. Okay. All right. You can't turn back now. So we get through the underlings part. It's let's go kill the overlord. You can't back down now. You'll be the one to assassinate the overlord because no one has ever any better ideas. You sneak up into the overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the overlord suddenly cuts down the hero She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. So this is if she's possessive. So we're like, we're gonna keep the maiden here. And the overlord is, and the hero's like, no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to keep the maiden. And so the overlord kills him. And now she's gonna kidnap the maiden. With the overlord distracted, you figure this is a good chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting the overlord right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. Said thank you for saving me? It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new overlord. Cool. All right, so that was a good one. I liked that one. That was fun. Here, let's actually change this so that way we don't skip unseen text. Yes, character select. Okay, so that was underling there. That was the true end. Now let's hop down to Tyrant. Underling returns to castle. Tyrant confirms the plan to kill the overlord. Okay. Okay, so these are the two that we're trying to get now. So it seems like you need to be a tyrant. And so that sends us down. We get involved with the plot. Okay, so we got to devour the maiden. That's good to know because we haven't done that much. And then we return to the castle with the maiden devoured. And then we confirm the plot. Okay, so then we get into all the plot stuff. Okay, but we got to kill the maiden is basically the moral of this story right now. So let's try it. Okay, so here, let's overthrow her. Sick of the overlord. Let's gobble her up. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without feeling so much as a second thought. You're quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses. Okay, so now we go back on. Okay, so now we're in the village. You change your mind and leave. So if we go into the village, we're killed by the villagers. So we leave. All right. You figure that they're upset, so we go back. If you fight, it probably wouldn't end well. You're just an underling. The little day out's been adequately refreshing, so you go back to take a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. They're eager to talk to you about the Kill the Overlord plan. You admit you haven't thought about it that much, and you just now remember that it was a thing. Your friends question your loyalty to the cause. All right, let's kill the Overlord. You tell them that you were only joking. All right, you were bad with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like it, you know how bad it end up to be on the wrong side of things, and if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend that you were innocent. But beneath your faux confidence, you don't know what you're getting dragged into. Okay, so here's the new stuff. Right here. So we're supposed to assassinate her. You sneak into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently, because there's no maiden, because we ate the maiden and the hero don't come into the castle. They don't wake her up. They don't warn her of the assassination attempt. This is almost too easy. You silently approach the master. She looks so peaceful. Oh, time to die. Or chicken out. Okay, we'll do time to chicken out first. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panicked whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them that's pretty messed up, and you ask again to be let out. The Overlord stirs in her bed. While your head is turned, the demons shut the door. You scramble into the Overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing that you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe these a-holes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize that they set the room on fire. You hear the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Oh, that's so sad! That was a tragic one. Cowardly underling ending. That was so sad. All right, one last one for this. Okay, let's overthrow her. Then we gobble her up. Then we don't put on a show. We go back to the castle. Let's kill the Overlord. And now, so we approach her. She's asleep. And we say, time to die! You figure the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat. So you do just that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her own blood, cursing you before finally expiring. That sucked. That felt terrible. You remind yourself that it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting outside. They look pleased. Only now do you realize that they must have been planning to use you like this from the very beginning. You are the new ruler of the castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you as you had betrayed the Overlord. Lord Underling NB. Oh, a letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter 3. Hey, so I was right about getting all the endings for a character, but this... My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many Odd? The game, my computer's like, I want to insert myself now, please. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. Oh man, is there a way that we can get a happy ending for everyone if we listen to every story that he produces? Oh, cool, cool. All right, who's next? So we've gotten everything for Underling. Let's do Hero next. Okay, so Hero, we just need him to be hungry, and that's literally it. Slaughters, hungry. Slaughter, hungry. Okay, he's hungry, and I just am gonna kill off everyone. So it really doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna bravely slaughter the creatures. I gain a lot of experience, I get stronger. I'm gonna cut these people down too, because I'm just killing everyone. Okay, you gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are evil demons after all. The world would be much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way up to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the heck you're doing, murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons that you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you, because she just sleeps all the time. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does it matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring it back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Oh, failed hero ending. I mean, he did it. He did his best. He was striking him down left, right, and center. You tried, bud. You were doing it. All right, where are we ending up here? Okay. Flees. You always gotta flee. Hero is left into the castle without issue. Okay, Hero reaches the Overlord's room. Everything is fine. Overlord needs to be possessive. Okay. And he can't be hungry, right? I'm assuming. Oh, if he is hungry. Okay, if he is hungry, it takes me down this way. If he's not hungry, it goes up this way. Okay, so let's do one with him hungry right now, and then we'll do the next one without him being hungry. So the maiden will still be gone. So we gotta slaughter some... No, we gotta flee. We don't slaughter. So we don't have blood. Oh yeah, okay, so now we don't have blood on me, but I'm entering the castle, and there won't be a maiden this time, because she will have been eaten already. So that's the difference here. Okay, ask if they'll let me in. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you're here. Okay, they trust you. You're sent to the Overlord's chamber. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably should trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove that she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Great! Useless here! Well, that was awesome. Well, thanks guys. It was a good visit. Good talk. Good talk? Good talk. So we set the stage. All right, so that was if he's hungry. Now, if he's not hungry, this should give us the other one. Skip. So we flee, so we're not bloody. We ask to be let in, so we're not bloody. And this time we ask the maiden what's going on. Is this gonna lead us to something different though? That's just gonna lead us to leaving. Let's see. The maiden explains that she was never captured. It was a dangerous thing for her to do. You ask her to return. Oh, okay, this is new because she's possessive now, that's right. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety, but the Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like these. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume that she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures when you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. She does not. Spoiler alert, she does not. Okay, naive hero. Okay, next. 3 more for the hero. So this is antisocial. Slays the demons. Antisocial. Slays the demons. Okay. So, antisocial. And possessive. We'll make her but she's gonna send her away anyway. Okay, here we go. Slay the demons. You make quick work of them. Oh! Ooh, hey! You feel much stronger now. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. Oh yeah, because she was sent away. So she's not hanging out there, so we just see her. This is cool, I like this. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden that you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity, and she runs away from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you are covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing her after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back into town. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape that sinking feeling that maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Oh wow, that is a very different ending. That's cool. So wait, what's the maiden doing now? So if she goes back to the castle, so she sees me in blood, she runs back to the castle, and like, does she try to like convince everyone? Is she like, no, the demons are okay, and everyone's like, no, she's a witch, burn her! Burn the witch! Burn the witch! I think that might be it, actually. Here, let's antisocial. And he's not hungry. Yeah, let's go to the maiden, actually. I think this is gonna unlock what her story is now. So, okay. So she leaves, she meets the demon, she introduces herself, because she doesn't... shout for the hero. We've never really seen a lot come out of the shouting for the hero. That's interesting. You tell the demon your name, you get taken to the castle. Overlord tells you that you should get lost. So this is Overlord being antisocial, sending the maiden away. How rude, you just got here. Huh, we can be obedient. So we're gonna obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so I love that she's singing. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He's covered in demon blood. You're frightened by the sight of him and you run away. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You're loudly interrupted by an older man. Man, never letting the women folk speak for themselves, these older men.
And that is the problem with theater departments.
Wow! Is it? I don't know. I feel like the problem with theater departments is...
Well, there's a lot more. This is a core problem.
I feel like over the course of these 3 uploads, we've unearthed a lot of problems in very specific theater departments.
Oh, yes.
You are interrupted by a loud older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Did they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without any harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be. So they say. Have the people in your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things that they never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You're seized by the crowd and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You've always lived honestly, so why's this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. No! Oh, that was dark. That was so sad. Wow, there are some vastly different endings here. This is crazy. If he's not covered in blood, here, I'm gonna do that again. I'm curious what happens if he's not covered in blood, because now I won't run away from him. Introduce, we meet, this is nice, we obey her, so we leave. You don't wanna cause trouble. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is like right there? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think that you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve. You're very upset that this so-called hero would treat you this way and you leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Okay, I was wondering if the hero would come with me, because they're like, oh, you couldn't have saved yourself without a hero, so if I have a man to splain it for me, maybe the mansplaining would have saved my life in this instance, but it seems like mansplaining is not the solution here. Huh. Fascinating.
That's a valuable lesson, Matt.
Mansplaining is not the answer.
Maybe mansplaining is not the answer here.
Mansplaining is not the solution, huh? All right, fair enough. Okay, so now if we're back, hero flees from the demons, so I'm not covered in blood. Now we're able to talk, and that'll affect us to get up to here, hopefully. And the other one is hero finds the maid. Yeah, we'll do this one last. So she's obedient, and she's antisocial, so she sends her away. Yeah, antisocial, obedient, we talk. But I can't be covered in blood. Otherwise she runs away. Okay. Okay, so flee like a coward. I'm not covered in blood. Okay. Okay, you see the maiden leaving the castle. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right over there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. So this is she can't be trusted, which is then she dies. Okay, so let's get this ending real quick. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about this, but she gets very upset that you think that she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Glad that took care of itself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice that the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to the wooden stake and she burns. Here. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day. But you can't help escape the sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. There it is. So this is the other ending route. So spectator hero ending A. So now we do it again, and this time we'll believe her. I just wanted to see what happened. Okay, flee. We believe her story. We're trusting. You have no reason to assume that she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel like you should trust her. You tell her that you're pretty surprised that everyone's been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed about this immediately. Are we both gonna burn at the stake? Please let us both burn at the stake. I think that would be delightful. The two of you return to the village. They had been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for an explanation. Because I'm the man in the situation. I mansplain. You politely inform them that this isn't your story to tell. Oh, this isn't my story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally. Oh, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says that they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds all right, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel that these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up the misunderstanding. You valiantly dash off after the maiden towards the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into the demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now, you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them that there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Huh. Fascinating. So this should unlock something new in the maiden, because I think now the choice is, does she run away in that instance, right? This is fascinating. I can't believe that there were so many, we got through this, but there were so many other character traits. I thought when we got 3 for each, we were good, and then that this was just a commentary on the maiden. I totally misjudged the maiden's character, by the way. This whole time, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, the game is gonna prevent her from having choice, and it seems like that is not the case at all.
I realized I can't, like, nod into the mic and have that pick up.
Yeah.
But I was nodding at you.
Man, I misjudged that one.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
Okay, here we go. So I think this is gonna unlock a new thing. Okay, introduce ourselves. We're gonna obey her and leave. We don't wanna cause trouble. We're gonna talk to our hero friend. Hey, you explain everything that happened. He's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them that he only ran into you on his way to the castle and that this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go back to talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being tossed around, which makes you frown. Makes you big sad. Hearing these words against the demons makes you big sad. You're pretty shocked that everyone is this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero go to speak with the Overlord immediately. He says that you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Man, old man. Go to Facebook and make your complaints, old man. Go spread your conspiracy theories over on that platform. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him because, of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're gonna be held captive by anyone, it's gonna be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Let's get this ending. Leave on your own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. But as you get closer, you start to notice a tower of black smoke darkening the beautiful blue sky. The castle is engulfed in flames. What in God's name could have happened? You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them, and we end up burning, right? Yeah, this is us burning in the fire. That's why I figured this was a different route to that one. Okay, so now, let's do that whole thing again real quick. Introduce, obey. Okay, We grab the hero and run. So the two of us are gonna run now. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust me. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops us. But as you approach the castle, you notice that something's gone terribly wrong and appears to be on fire. Is the Overlord all right? You have to be sure everyone's safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons. You quickly reach the Overlord's room. It's hot to the touch. Wow, she dies in a fire. In almost every single scenario. This poor maiden dies in a fire constantly.
I was just about to say, she either gets like maunched or burned.
The entire time.
Like,
every single route, she's just getting maunched constantly.
Like straight up maunched or like cooked.
Every time. This is terrible. Okay, hero. I think this is ultimately the hero has to help her open. There's a way that the hero helps her open the door. Okay, we believe her story. We go to the town. Okay. So they're like, hey, go talk to the Overlord, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. As you stand there, not sure what to do, the maiden announces that she's gonna prove her story to the village, so this is her being resolute. She drags you along with her. She has much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits! But about halfway there, the maiden suddenly stops. Something's not right. Oh, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. She suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow to try and stop her. But this is where we get lost in the smoke. So really, there's no way. There's gotta be a way for us to open the door after it's locked, right? Maybe not. Let's see where we're at. Flee. Believe her story. There it is. Okay. Because now when he's disloyal, they talk outside and they stall on the whole burning the castle thing. She drags you along, adventure awaits. When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them and the whole room dissolves. Okay, and then we burn, right? We were close.
Is there an underling trait that we haven't unlocked yet?
That must be it, isn't it? That's what it is. I feel like, so we're missing one character trait from the maiden and one from the underling, and I think that's what's preventing us from missing some of this. So I was looking here, and it seems like if I go maiden meets the Overlord, stays with the Overlord, and then dutiful hero, heroic hero is gonna give us into a route here where we might unlock a new character trait for the maiden, as well as two endings. So I think we're gonna try a couple maiden runs here. So, okay. She introduces, we spend time with the maiden, and then we, shoot, was this obey her? And we leave. You don't wanna cause trouble. No, that was clearly not the right route. So, whoops, whoopsie. Maiden meets the Overlord. Antisocial, so I'm sent away. But I stay resolute. So I'm there. Wait, what did I do wrong? She has an antisocial. What did I do wrong?
I don't think you can don't obey her.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. That's right. You're totally right. Introduce, don't obey, refuse to leave. That's right. You put your foot down to tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. Good. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but doesn't kick you out for or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about them being ruthless monsters. It's great. Okay. They're bonding. They're kind of falling in love with each other. The hero suddenly dashes towards the Overlord, sword drawn. Ooh, martyr! Okay, I'm gonna do nothing just to get the ending. The hero's blade pierces the Overlord and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds out his hand to you, saying it's time to go home. His glove is drenched in blood. It's a very high sanitary concern. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle, past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then, you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle, and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. Complacent mating. More like, party, late night party, maiden. No, terrible. Okay, sorry.
Huh?
I don't know. She was partying. It was all because of her. She's alive. The town's celebrating, so she celebrates with them. Yeah, okay, it wasn't great. Okay, Ash, sometimes I throw things out there into the universe and it's not great, okay? When you're doing hours worth of unscripted content, sometimes you throw out things that don't make sense.
Hey, happened to me a million times.
Millions. Zillions.
Yeah.
Quadrillions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over the course of some months.
Many. Here we go. You are the maiden. If we're getting to all 41 of these, I gotta go fast. Okay, here we go. We refuse to leave. At which point then, you explain the situation. Okay, so the hero comes in. He's got blood. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. Oh, already complacent maiden, okay. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping on his weapon, too. You realize it must be demon blood. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero and out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what kind of horrible scene he's left for her. The Overlord tears the hero apart in retaliation. You watch silently, unable to scream. The Overlord, who had just been getting along with so well, has killed another human right in front of you. It's clear now that you have been deceived by her sweet words. Demons are ruthless monsters after all. The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated, especially because she has one giant eye in the center of her forehead and apparently 6 eyes. Here, maybe some of those are eyebrows. It's very unclear. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. But the Overlord stops, or rather, someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your screams before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stop moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done. Even though it was awful, you feel like you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. Escaped maiden. Yay! Da-da-da-da-da-da. Great. That was a feel-good ending, wasn't it? So we're still missing a route for this guy. But maybe now that she can be obedient, we can take this route. Okay, so this is, he's granted the day off. So not a tyrant. Maiden to the castle. And it seems, okay, polite. Maiden to the castle. Involved in the pot, so disloyal we want. Antisocial. Obedient. Trusting. Okay, so he needs to be not trusting? Wait, if he's trusting of the maiden... Shoot, what's this gonna lead to? Sorry. He needs to not be trusting, right? Trusting puts you on this path. Not trusting puts you on the lower path. Okay. So not trusting. Not dutiful. She's obedient and polite and resolute. She's a tyrant and antisocial. This is complicated. Okay, tyrant. No, not tyrant. So, no tyrant. No tyrant. Polite, so we get brought to the castle. We're disloyal. So the maiden is sent away and she listens. So the maiden is now gone. But then he's untrusting. Okay. I think this is correct. Hopefully this unlocks the last of his, which then we'll have all the character traits for everyone, which then will allow us to get all the rest of the endings. Okay, we don't gobble her out. We hear her out. We bring her. We are disloyal. We say kill the Overlord. We don't chicken out. We say time to die. Cleanest way to do this is to dig through the throat. She wakes up. We've killed her. It kind of sucks. They're like, hey, congratulations. You're now king of the castle. Nope, that didn't work. Shoot.
Maybe it's trusting and then you're given a choice.
Wait, who, the hero's trusting?
Yeah. And then it branches off and you can pick one thing or
Yeah,
the
maybe
other.
that's what it is. Here, let's see. You're maybe right. Let's try that. Okay, hear her out. Overthrow the Overlord. Shoot. That was not it either. Okay. Not that one. Come on. How do we get down here? All right. Maiden is brought in. Underling brings the maiden to the castle. Underling gets involved in the plot. Overlord is antisocial, which sends the maiden away. The maiden follows, and so maiden leaves. Hero trusts the maiden's story, presumably. Wait, if she's resolute, they come back. Oh, maybe that's what it is. She can't be resolute. But the trusting, it branches here. I'm assuming, and the reason I'm focused on this is because I'm assuming that this is how we get that last trait of the underling, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a different route we have to take to get that last trait of the underling. Hear her out.
Yes.
That seems to be always the case.
Let's kill the
Kill
Overlord.
the Overlord. Oh, wait. Okay, so they're outside doing their assassination plot. You can't back down. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord, besides no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier. Maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. There it is. Use the maiden for killing practice. Ooh, or toss her in the dungeon. Oh, that's completely different. Let's toss her in the dungeon. You and her friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Who gives the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other such cliche hero lines before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by the sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once the opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. "What are you doing? Couldn't you tell that this was a duel?" says the Overlord. You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her, rip her to shreds with your claws, and she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but doesn't make a difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding spots. You are the new ruler of the castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that one day they'll betray you as you betrayed the Overlord. There it is! That's cool. I mean, it's a very different ending. That's really interesting. There it is. Puppet Master. Cool. So that's all of his stuff now. So now we have every trait. There it is. And that unlocked this, which unlocked everything. And we should be clear for everything now. Yes. Okay. So let's get the hero's last ending, which is antisocial.
Everything you've done has only hurt them more.
Right, I know. Obedient. Trusting. Okay, antisocial, obedient, disloyal, and captor. Polite, obedient. She's not resolute. And antisocial, right? And that was it. I think that should be everything. Okay. Flee, so we're not bloody. We believe her story. We're trusting. So we trust her. We go to the gates. Okay. So you can't help but feel that everyone's wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her. You valiantly dash after the maiden towards the Overlord's castle. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you that she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return, they lock her up. So demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand that they take you to her, but they don't let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you have to do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you would rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What are you doing, killing all my soldiers? Says the Overlord. The Overlord's angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health. When everything goes black, your quest has come to an abrupt end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. Lost letter number 1. Let's see it. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this. It's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write. And I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more, and then maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Oh, Tragedy's just looking for his happy mask. He's looking for comedy. He's looking for comedy.
Looking for comedy.
He just needs some comedy in his life. And then it'll be the true ending.
Ooh, true.
Maybe that's what it is. We only have 9 more endings left again. It's fine. Doing great. Let's see.
This is going to be a really long episode.
It is. You told me to keep going.
I did.
This is you. Didn't we do this? Let's see. Stay for a while. Okay, here we go. Why has it turned out like this? I'm so mad. You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. I was careless of you. So this is how you die, stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You're supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right, humans can't be trusted. Not if this is what they're capable of. You should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he'd left in his wake. Captured by a demon, at least she got what she came for. You joined the army in eternal slumber. Oh, slain Overlord. All right. Hey, Ash, tell me a fun story.
A fun story.
Yeah, fun story. I'm gonna run through a couple of these, but I'd love to hear a story.
Okay, yeah.
Theater. Tell me more theater trauma.
More theater trauma. Let's see. Well, there was. Ooh, so we took the Mackers where the 3 witches were Doctor Who characters. And we actually shortened it and brought it to a high school theater competition. And I think everyone agreed that it was whack, but
they all agree whack. Decided that it was whack.
But I got cast as Amy Pond.
Okay.
And I won an Excellence in Acting award.
Hey, you won an acting award. Well done. That's not traumatic at all.
Sometimes I go to bed with the knowledge that I've technically had an award-winning performance of Amy Pond.
That's amazing,
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, here we go. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide it's a great time for a nap. Being the Overlord sure is great. You're awakened by one of your underlings. A hero wishes to speak to you. He inquires about a maiden who is rumored to be here, but you've never seen her. Humans don't visit often, or ever, really. As the hero takes his leave, you wonder why he totally trusted you there. Heroes traditionally kill demons. This guy seemed like he was bad at his job, in your opinion. Whatever, you're still feeling sleepy, so you go right back to your nap. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. Well, there's a twist for you. You try to struggle, but you can tell that you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You remember now, you gave this one a day off, and this is how it repays you. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Oh, man. You see? The co-workers, every time.
These work associates.
Every time. Here we go. I think we got this one here. Grant him the day off. Okay, you hear voices in the hall. Okay. Whatever you're feeling sleepy, you go right to your nap. You hear voices in the hall. You aren't sure how long you've slept. The sound of a shutting door forces you awake. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed in flame. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out, and we burned. Okay. I think that was... Oh, we got 2 more for Overlord. So it needs to be disloyal and trusting. Okay, so Overlord tells the underling to get back to work. Tyrant. Hungry. Overlord awakens. And he's not a coward. He's disloyal and trusting. Okay, not a coward though. Can I just do this? I feel like this one I might have. So I'm gonna get back to work. Lecture about responsibility. Okay, you're awakened by one of your underlings. They've brought you a hero inquiring about a missing maiden. You tell them you don't know anything, humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home, to your surprise. You figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings tearing your throat out. You try to struggle. And then this is, you curse at them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay. Assassinate Overlord again. So I've gotten that one a couple routes. Tell him to get back to work. Okay. You awake, the underling from earlier has brought back some company. You thought that you told the underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized break from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in the quest, or in the guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says that her role is to be captured by you, okay?
Let her stay.
Let her stay. You can't bring yourself to send her away, so she sticks around.
Keep her here.
Okay, keep her.
Yeah.
The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish.
It's unclear whether we should have granted the day off or not.
Something sharp pierces your back. The hero? No, he's already... It's one of your underlings. The maiden screams. Okay, wait, so we kill the hero. Okay, we keep the maiden. The hero's like, no. And so we kill him, because we're like, we're keeping the maiden here. And now the maiden's scared of us. But then wait a minute. One of your underlings pierces my neck. We've been betrayed. The servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe that this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. There it is! Note flutters down! Lost letter 4. Whoo!
Thank you, Internet.
My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts. One I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet, you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day, even now. I wonder if, somewhere, you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. 4 left!
4
Ash.
left. Do you think we can speed run that?
Yeah, please.
In like 10 minutes.
Please. Is that how much time we got?
Yes.
And we'll have to cut all of this. Okay. Name me an ending. They're all maiden endings.
For mating it?
They're all maiden.
Okay. Let me scroll down to maiden.
This is it. We are gonna speed run.
All right.
We're gonna get through the final 4 endings and hopefully see if there's something that's unlocked when you get all of the Tragedy notes. I'm assuming that he'll get reunited with Comedy. That's my guess.
Okay. So there's consumed.
Consumed. Yes, we got that.
Slaughtered.
Slaughtered. No. Give me that.
So we're gonna hit trusting for hero.
Trusting.
Antisocial for overlord. Disloyal for underling.
And that's it?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. So he's like, hey, come back. And now the Overlord's like, no, she's staying with me. You tell her that you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the screams gets in your throat. You watch because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder if this is your punishment for questioning the divine plan. The Overlord approaches you. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. And that's it. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter 2. Letter collector! Achievement unlocked. My love, I have finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right, I opened up my very own theater. You would be so proud if you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy. Okay, we've got all of it. So now, should we do the ending?
Can we do it in 4 minutes?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Is there a true ending here?
There might be a golden ending.
You can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing that we can do to keep them all from getting killed? If there's nothing you can do from acting within the story, maybe it's time you jump in with your own hands. We are Mysterious Character X. I've come to save you. You explained to the group that you've witnessed their many terrible intertwining fates and now you're searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them. Only the maiden understands your compassion. My prayers have been answered. You must be... Okay, great. I'm sick of all these bad endings. Then frankly, you should have never come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? If that's all that's left for you, isn't it? Okay. Time to fight. The stage is set. What will you do? Defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. You're right. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my tragic tales! You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame that they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right, we came here to save them. We can't do this alone. So we got a little bit of a different dialogue there.
Yes.
A little bit different. A little bit.
It seems like you just got to get to the end credits.
Okay. Really? And then it gives us something.
And then after the end credits, there's something.
Oh! Okay. Okay, we're getting them all. We're achieving our... Great. Okay, so now it's willpower. Great. Yes! Tragedy is reeling. Hope! Use your hope, maiden! Use your tenacity! And use your ambition, Overlord! And when your powers combine, you are Captain Planet! Nice. You've done it! You've managed to defeat me. Am I satisfied? I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't come easily. Great. Okay, so he goes away. We've satisfied everything. We've gotten all his letters. And now it's just the end.
Yes, after the true ending credit roll.
The true end ending credit roll. Oh man, there are so many endings.
The letters.
There's the letters. Hey, there was something. Oh, for your tragedy, that's already happy endings. Oh. So is it comedy? Comedy? Happy face? So there was more song.
Something's missing.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. You're still here. The curtain is closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. Ask Tragedy its story? Should I ask Tragedy its story?
Any.
Oh, either, okay. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater. It's because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. I'll remove the mask. I totally ship me and Tragedy. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in the mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart in your hands, revealing... Oh! I should have warned you, this might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear, not another ending, but the truth? Tell me! Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. Running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable, and for a time, everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all, where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship and everything is okay in the end. I lost her. And then I started this theater. Huh? Twist! What? Twist! Oh! I did not mean to do that. Twist! It's the Overlord! I was hoping to find you. It's you. It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You knew I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course, I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Yes! Oh, that was so worth it. Now truly everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end.
Yo.
Yes! Awesome. Awesome. That was good. I was so skeptical. I don't know. This was one that I'm like, I want to get all these endings because I really like this game. I like the characters in it and it's satisfying. And there might be something at the end. You just encouraged me to keep going because you just knew about the girl getting burned. And you're like, get it burned. I am so glad we did. That was amazing.
I'm so happy now.
That was
so happy.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, that was great. What a great twist. And then when you're like, oh, you might get a gold star or something at the end. This was awesome. Oh, wonderful. What a great...
The couple is together again.
That was delightful. That was wonderful. And I like it, tying together the themes of the creator and why they created the theater. Beautiful. Beautiful. What a great game. This was delightful. I loved this. It was super fun, super, not hard, but really fun to figure out. And just great characters. I think good messages across the board. Wonderful, wonderful game. So, clap in half. Bad End Theater. Bad End Theater. Great end game. And on that awkward ending, go out, support the creator, play this game for yourself, even though it played through all the endings. It's absolutely worth your time and obviously great story inside of here. So without any further ado, I need a break from theater for a while. I might go on hiatus, tamp down my trauma a bit more. We'll unearth it on a different day. But for now, as always, remember, it wasn't a live stream, but it was a video for you. See ya!